pickle, but there is some angst to this weekend's game. And could the Chargers get off to the largest 3-game lead in any division in the history of pro football? I cannot recall a team that started their season with 3 straight divisional games. So what an opportunity for that group, but also for the Broncos. If I told you a month ago that heading into week 3, the Broncos would have a chance to be in first place in the AFC West, you'd probably say, wow, things are going according to plan. So the single biggest key, in your opinion, Mr. Phillip Lindsay, the single biggest key is blank. Go ahead and fill in that blank, Mr. Phil, presented by Williams Jewelry.
The single biggest key to this game is stopping Justin Herbert. Forcing Justin Herbert to not get in a rhythm. Forcing Justin Herbert to make bad passes, mistakes. Force him to run a little bit more. Justin Herbert actually is more athletic than people give him credit for.
No, you're right about that.
But let's see it. Let's see it throughout the game. Let's see it every time that he's back there, he doesn't feel settled. Make him feel unsettled. Don't let him get the time, the rhythm processing down. Don't let him set his feet and step into his throws. So, the key to this is, of course, the backbone of the Denver Broncos, which is the defense, and getting pressure on Justin Herbert, creating a turnover. Justin Herbert has 5 touchdowns so far, 0 turnovers. That has to change. Disguise your defense. Go zone man. Bring a couple blitzes from all around, not just your inside linebackers or your nickel, but also maybe even one from your cornerback, and get after him. Force Justin Herbert to be unsettled.
Well, you mentioned his touchdown-to-interception ratio. Justin Herbert has been a fantastic quarterback since walking into the league. Statistically, Justin Herbert owns the greatest rookie season at the quarterback position in NFL history. The kid walked in the league and was 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But he started to turn it over during the 21 season. 15 interceptions. That went down to 10. Then it went down to 7. Last year, somehow it went down to 3. I mean, that is beautiful. Stunning that you could attempt over 500 passes over the course of an NFL season and have 3 interceptions. That is ball security personified.
But also, Zach, that means that they had a run game. J.K.
Sure.
Dobbins was over there.
Sure.
You lean on your running backs, which opens up your pass, your play action. That's something they don't. We're talking about the Chargers. They don't have so far. They don't have a run game. So at some point, if you're going to drop back and throw 40 times in a game, you are going to get picked off. You are going to make a mistake and have a turnover because you make it easy for the defense to play 7-on-7 now. You're one-dimensional. And we have ball players. You're not playing against the Raiders that are still trying to find themselves. I do believe that this defense, the Denver Broncos, are top 5. They were last year. They added a couple pieces. I know Dre Greenlaw is not playing yet. I don't know when he's going to play. But you have Hufanga, Brandon Jones. You have Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year. His hair is going to be on fire this Sunday because he wants to prove to everybody that what happened last Sunday was a fluke. So this team is going to be ready to play their focus. It's a division opponent, so you know it's a tough game already. But Justin Herbert's going to find himself in some trouble if they can't get a run game going.
Well, we'll see what that dynamic looks like on Sunday. There has been the conversation of, hey, if you want to win the AFC West, is this a must-win game? I don't think that it is. Okay, I don't think that it's a must-win to win the division, and I say that because the Chargers historically have shown that they can unravel, okay, later in seasons. We've seen that. The Broncos under Sean Payton have shown that they start slow and can really become the best version of themselves during the meat of the schedule. Now, I'm not going to, insult anyone's intelligence. This is a massive football game. If you're talking about winning the AFC West for the first time since Peyton freaking Manning was the quarterback, yeah, this is a big football game. An absolute bona fide must-win in Week 3.
Why, though? Why don't you feel that way? You just dropped one. You played against a coach who was an AFC team. You dropped that one. You should have won that one.
Yep.
You're 1-9 against teams with a winning record.
Since the start of last year.
Since the start of last year. Thank you, man. Why wouldn't this be a sense of urgency game of, we must win this division game because the Chargers have already beat the Chiefs.
No, I know.
They've already beat the Raiders.
I know, I got it. I know.
If they spank our ass,
yeah.
who else?
I just don't think that you can have a must-win in Week 3. That's all. And so, but again, the Chargers are going to be so set up, to win the division.
Yeah.
Again, the greatest lead in between week 3 and 4 in NFL history for any division if they do win. I just because of the.
I don't like that mindset, man.
No, dude. I'm not telling you that it's not a sense of urgency. I just to slap a must-win label on it in week 3, I just can't go there. I understand those who do, though. Broncos need to win a football game because the Broncos need to win a football game. You need to beat the Chargers because they swept you a season ago.
There you go.
And if you win this game, you both have 2-1 record, and you'll have the head-to-head, and you'll be first place in the division. So it's a massive, massive football game. I just can't do the must-win label on it. That's all. But again, I get it.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Leave you alone.
But I take it from you and your reaction.
No, it's a sense of urgency.
Must win.
And you know why? For me, like being in that building and knowing like divisional opponents and what coaches usually say, like, hey, look, you win this game, that's like winning 2. Like you have to beat your division. You have to beat the guys that are in front of you right now. The Chargers already have the upper hand. We're not playing well as a unit, as a team. The Chargers look like they are. Their defense is a lot better than they were last year. The sense of urgency is at an all-time high because it's not just about beating the Chargers. It's about what Sean has put on this team, the pressure that Sean has put on this team about being a Super Bowl contending team. If you can't beat the Chargers, who are going to be in the playoffs this year, if you can't beat a team with the winning record and you're 1-9, how are you supposed to win the division? How are we supposed to feel comfortable once we get into the playoffs that we can truly make a run for that Super Bowl? That's what I'm doing. Sean has put a lot of pressure on those men in that locker room.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. And you mentioned 1-9 record against teams with a winning record since the start of last year. I know we brought it up earlier in the week, but it bears repeating. Sean Payton has played or went head-to-head with Jim Harbaugh 6 times, and Sean Payton has 1 win and 5 losses. That is the current dynamic here. So there's the monkey on the back with the Chargers sweeping you a year ago. There's the monkey on the back of Jim Harbaugh. And so the Broncos just need to handle business. The stadium is going to be more Bronco fan than Charger fans.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see Jim Harbaugh before the game look at Sean and say, who's your daddy? They get Sean all riled up so Sean can have a good day of calling plays.
Well, they have a great relationship. They do. They share the same agent. There's a lot of mutual respect there, but it's time to get that Chargers box checked. And if they're going to do it, Bo Nix is going to have to be the best version of himself. And the reality is we all believe in Bo and are rooting for Bo, but the reality of the situation is he's leading the NFL in turnovers through 2 weeks. He has got to get it cleaned up. Because if the Broncos, again, in this matchup, the Chargers are hard enough to beat, all right? But you can't have the self-inflicted wounds. If the Broncos are in the negative in any way from a turnover margin, even if it's a single turnover, like it was a week ago, the Broncos will lose this football game.
Yeah, it starts with Bo Nix, and it starts with Bo Nix playing smart football. The one thing I loved about Bo last week, and if you were watching this game, he made a lot of checks. And a lot of those checks were from passes to runs. Like, let's just run the ball. And in this game for Bo Nix, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't know the defense that's put out there and it's a throw, it's a pass play, just run the ball.
Yeah.
Put it in your running back's hands, get a couple yards, live for another down. And when you do throw, understand that it's about the time, the rhythm processing. But when it's not there, it's not there. Utilize your legs.
Yes.
Dump down to the running backs.
Yes.
All right, throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, sure.
Just find a way to keep the drive alive, but play smart, play chess. All right, if it's not there and you throw it out of bounds, you have to punt. Where you put your defense in a better situation to have field advantage or advantage when it comes to the Chargers trying to drive 60, 70 yards.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, playing chess, not checkers.
Well, that part about the running and being a more willing runner is something that I know we touched on through the week. He's really got to embrace it. You cannot be worried about narratives or what Jeffrey Simmons is saying or a label of a running quarterback. Dude, we did this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. God gave you those legs. Use them. If you have green grass in front of you, Run. Just be a playmaker. Who cares where it goes in the box score? Be more multiple. Quarterbacks that bring that multi-dimension, they're just harder to stop. So he needs to lean into that, and my guess is that he will.
And he needs to relax. Like, he's too uptight. You feel him stressing and straining for something that is not there. But when you wake up on Sunday, smile. Smile. You're the franchise quarterback of the damn Denver Broncos. You're going to be just fine. You have a really good defense. You have a running back that wants the ball in his hands more times than not. You have a coach that is going to set you up for success. You go out there and do your job and play football. Play like we all know you can play, and we're going to have success. He will have success.
Well, cut down on the turnovers. Be a more willing runner.
And smile.
And smile because you're the quarterback of the Denver Broncos.
And smile.
Well, hopefully he checks those boxes on Sunday. Sutton was so quiet in the Colts game. 1 reception for 6 yards. Again, I guess I don't want to put a ceiling or put the Broncos in a box, but my guess is if it's another performance that's that quiet, it'll probably be an indicator that the Broncos did not win that game.
Yeah, I mean, Court's our number one receiver. You're paying him $92 million to get the ball in his hands. Now, I will say this. Bo was forcing the ball to Courtland throughout the game. It just never connected. They weren't ever on the same page. But for Courtland, he is going to have to find ways to beat double coverage. He is going to have to find ways to utilize the route tree and his big body to get open. And then for Sean, scheme up some plays for Court. Get him going early, get him involved, and it's going to help you out. It will open up the pass game. We don't know at this time about Evan Engram.
He just got ruled out.
Oh, there you go.
Evan Engram just got ruled out.
See,
he
very
is not going to play.
Man.
It is concerning. We talked about this all preseason, and Dre Greenlaw could walk through this bar at Buffalo Rose in Golden, and no one would recognize him. Dre Greenlaw. It's like we don't know what
That's
it looks like.
Man.
I mean, well, he's not that big. I mean, it's not like I think about,
there goes Zach Bice sizing people up again.
He's about 5'11". So,
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, we don't know what that looks like in a Broncos uniform.
Yeah.
And then Engram, who also had the injury concerns and came with a discount because of those concerns, is already being knocked out ahead of a Week 3 game.
So now
it's frustrating.
We don't have Drake Greenlaw. We don't know what we have in him yet because he hasn't practiced in OTAs and camp and didn't do preseason, and he's not playing in regular season games right now. But for Evan Engram, who's supposed to be our joker, a guy that you move all around the field, a guy that's going to get Courtland Sutton open because now a defense has a game plan towards Evan Engram. He's not playing. Like, now the weapons are leaving for the Denver Broncos in general, but now you have a key weapon that honestly wasn't on the field long enough, but a key weapon that's not going to be in the game. Now there's a lot more pressure on Pat Bryant.
Yep.
A lot more pressure on Troy Franklin. But there's so much more pressure on Courtland Sutton. And now they're going to double Courtland because now it's like make Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant beat us. Make Adam Trotman beat us. Make Bo Nix beat us with his legs. So that's frustrating, man.
It is frustrating. So of the 4 discounted Broncos that came at a discounted rate, Evan Engram, Dre Greenlaw, J.K. Dobbins, and Talanoa Hufanga. Hufanga has been great. Dobbins has been great. Greenlaw, MIA. Engram, not great. And now MIA. So it's sort of split, between those 4. And we talked about that all preseason. Which one would you protect if you could wave a wand and prevent injury and all that stuff. Hyper relevant here just 3 weeks into the season. Should we see Marvin Mims just a little bit more involved than we have? I know he caught the touchdown pass last week, but
what do you want to see from him when you talk about involvement? You're right now, Zach. Exactly. You said it earlier. Like, if you're looking for Marvin Mims to be this receiver and run this route tree, run some dig routes down the middle of the field, like, you're not going to see that right now. But if you want to get Marvin Mims involved, you're going to have to be creative. End arounds. Okay, put him at slot, put him at running back. Like, he's a weapon. He's the baby joker we talk about. You don't have daddy joker, so now you have baby joker.
Yep.
So now that Evan Ingram's not playing, you have to get Marvin Mims going because he's the only one out there that can be electrifying from all different angles, all different positions.
Yep.
you can put him at tight end, and he can do something for you. But you have to get him going, and Bo Nix has to find him. So, yeah, Zach, we got to get Marvin Mims going now. Last year, we waited until Week 10, or the Denver Broncos waited until Week 10 to truly get him going. Let's get him going here in Week 3.
Yep, I would love to see it because here it's the two things are true at the same time here. Marvin Mims, excellent that he caught the touchdown last week. You love to see that. But take away that 23-yard play, all right, and I know this is not reality. You don't want to remove a 23-yard touchdown, but for context, just hear me out. Take that singular 23-yard play away, and we are looking at 13 total yards for Marvin Mims across 2 games. So I just want to see it. I think there was an assumption made this offseason that he was just it was going to be on demand because he did it over that 7-game sample size. On a series-by-series basis, relatively quiet start to the season.
I'll tell you this. It's funny that we reported a lot throughout camp about certain players. Marvin Mims was one of them that we said, hey, wasn't getting a lot of action.
No.
But then when we reported on people like Troy Franklin, who have been consistent during camp, they're doing well during the season. You practice how you play. And if you're having success in practice and preseason, usually you're going to have success in the regular season. So it's kind of showing us right now some of these players that are not doing well, they weren't doing all that great in camp. Marvin Mims, we got to get you going. It's not just on him. It's on Sean, but also for him, get open. Get open, make a play, make somebody miss. Players make plays, players win games.
Well, from a matchup standpoint, this is 2 of the better offensive lines in the NFL as well. And Rashawn Slater going down with injury. He's going to be out the entire season, the first-round pick out of Northwestern, going back to that 2021 draft or 23 draft, I think. They're still really good. They're still really good. Joe Alt there on the left side. Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Mekhi Becton, who was a starter for the Eagles Super Bowl team there at right guard, to go with Trey Pipkins there in reserve for Rashawn Slater. It should be, I know the game's going to be played on turf, not paper, but it should be an advantage for the Denver Broncos. Both offensive line and defensive line should be, considering that Rashawn Slater is no longer playing right tackle and considering that Khalil Mack has already been ruled out of this football game.
See, Khalil Mack's the big one because Khalil Mack is the guy that's coming off the edge for Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix can sleep peacefully tonight knowing that he doesn't have Khalil Mack breathing down his neck.
Yeah.
But also it makes it easier for your offensive line. You're not going to have to chip Khalil Mack. You're not going to have to double team an edge rusher. So now you're able to kind of game plan differently, maybe get somebody up to that second level and have some leeway there. And then for offensively for Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonitto, this is your time. Both of you guys are paid well for a reason to get to Justin Herbert.
Yep.
And I know Nick Bonitto is putting a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks, and he needs to continue to do that. I know Jonathan Cooper is getting to the quarterback, but now it's time to come up with some sacks, with some turnovers. This is why we built this defense the way we did, to high-flying, high speed, these high-caliber athletes, but you got to go out there and you got to prove it. And VJ needs to put everybody in great situations, and then you have Nick Bonitto and Jonathan Cooper. You got to go out there and earn your money, which they will, man. I'm telling you, this defense – from what I've heard in the building and talking to a couple of players, is like the focus in the facility right now is at an all-time high. They know that this is going to be a huge game. They know that the defense is going to be the reason why they win this game, and also the defense wants to prove to everybody that they are top 5.
All right, we'll see what it looks like, man. This is it's a big one. You can't overstate it. I think it's about a 3-point spread on Sunday afternoon. And it's big, man. And we could be coming in on Monday talking about the Denver Broncos being first place in the AFC West for the first time in years. And the prospect of that sentence being true is so exciting. But they have to take care of business. The Chargers have been a thorn in their side for a while now. And as I know we talked about at the top, Jim Harbaugh being 5-1 against Sean Payton head-to-head in the NFL. It's just time. It's time.
Sense of urgency, man. This is why it's so important.
Yep.
Change you.